This adult form Artoria is easily one of the best designed characters out there. She's majestic, cold, and incredibly high class. I mean, she literally ruled a kingdom once. And I don't even need to explain how beautiful she is, right? Yet somehow, this supermodel of a woman once wore a bunny suit for a summer event, and even ran a casino she personally built. Yes, that woman. Now, sure, wearing any outfit is fine. She looks great in it too. But if you know how she usually acts, the cold demeanor, the emotional distance, the way she keeps humans at arm's length, seeing her in a revealing, very fan service heavy outfit is surprising to say the least. Naturally, the first question that hits you is, how the hell did she agree to wear that? Like, what actually happened behind the scenes? Well, funny enough, it's actually pretty simple. Some of her knights just asked her to. That's it. These two absolute menaces basically persuaded their king to wear a bunny suit for a summer event. They probably hyped it up like crazy, made it sound totally reasonable, and somehow it worked. Next thing you know, Artoria's wearing it. Proudly. Zero hesitation, completely unfazed by all the eyes glued to her. And honestly, that's kind of shocking. Because this version of Artoria is known for being distant and emotionally closed off. From her majestic design to her sharp expression, she feels hard to approach. Even in her room dialogue, she's not very expressive. I know this might annoy some people, but her room lines are kind of boring. Her formal way of speaking doesn't help either. It all makes you wonder, what's actually going on inside her head? And over time, the story quietly answers that question. What's hiding behind Artoria Lancer's cold demeanor isn't arrogance or superiority, it's obliviousness. It's never said outright, but you can tell from her actions. She's sometimes unaware of what's happening right in front of her and can come off a bit airheaded about things most people would pick up on easily. And funnily enough, that trait often drags her into little bits of drama, without her even realizing any of it is happening. So yeah, I just want to point out a few moments where her obliviousness really shows, but we usually just brush it off. This video isn't that deep, honestly. I just want to relive some memories of her because she feels kind of forgotten now, and I don't want her to be. Let's start by asking a simple question. Why does this woman even have this adorable trait in the first place? I mean, she's still Artoria, but it doesn't feel like the other Artorias struggle with this nearly as much. Sure, it pops up once in a while for them, but with Artoria Lancer, it feels like she gets caught up in it way more often. You see, Artoria acts like this because at her core, she's a being closer to a goddess than a human. Her heart is distant, and she genuinely doesn't understand how human emotions work. That's why she comes off as stone cold. And you can really feel this in the Camelot Singularity movie, where she's honestly terrifying at times. She's angelically beautiful, but also scary in a way that makes you uneasy. In Camelot, she's completely mission-focused, and because of this gap in understanding the human heart, she ends up being easily influenced. Agravain, one of the Knights of the Round Table, acts as her advisor, but honestly, he's basically the one steering her decisions. Not commanding her outright, but every time he advises something, she agrees without much resistance. That's actually part of why Lancelot fights Agravain. He suspects Agravain is the one pulling the strings behind everything Artoria does in Camelot. And now that I think about it, isn't that also a kind of obliviousness? She doesn't realize she's being used and just goes along with it. Well, I guess at that time, it's also because she no longer thinks like a human. Her priorities are different, and Agravain's advice just sounds like pure logic to her. After that event, the Lion King who ruled Camelot is gone. But her record remains, and we can still summon her in that form. Even so, what's in her heart doesn't just disappear. That coldness follows her into Chaldea as she works there. And there you have it. This is just my little theory, but I think her obliviousness comes from the Lion King's heart template, which technically really couldn't understand humans. When that body and heart gets summoned again in a stable form, not as a divine spirit, that template comes along with it. And because of that, Artoria ends up struggling to understand certain things, or just being unaware of very human feelings and situations. And yeah, that's basically her adorable gap personality. Until one day, our favorite troll wizard notices something. Merlin realizes that Artoria is actually uncomfortable with how distant she is, and that she can't form a natural connection with Fujimaru. So he does what he does best, and starts bullying his king, all in the name of therapy, to help her loosen up and fix that discomfort. Well, okay, he's not outright bullying her or anything, but he does put her into a dream with Fuji, and then throws in a bunch of kings with the most annoying personalities in the entire series. From there, they start giving her these lessons. But honestly, those lessons are really just them trying to convince Artoria that she's still human at heart. A lot of it involves mildly embarrassing situations, like forcing her to hear Fuji scream things like, "I love Artoria," over and over, or making her admit that she doesn't want Fuji to hate her, or even proving that she wanted to be chosen as Fuji's servant. And somehow, this short therapy session just proves one thing again. She's completely oblivious, even to her own feelings. That's hella funny, isn't it? After being summoned, she still carries the records of Camelot. She shares the same spirit origin as the Lion King, so she assumes her inability to understand people is simply who she is. And, to be fair, part of that is true. She has the body and mindset of the Lion King, but technically, they're still different people. After the dream, it becomes clear that it's not that she's incapable of understanding others. It's that she never really tried. Once again, she's confused and unaware, this time not of other people, but of herself. At least her emotional stiffness gets fixed. Her obliviousness, though, is still off the charts. And that's basically how they resolve it. They pretty much confirm that she's no longer the woman she was in the past. So any moments where she seems unaware or emotionally clumsy aren't because she's incapable of feeling, but simply because she's a bit of an airhead. And honestly, that's kind of sweet. I mean, a strong, serious look needs a little crack in it, right? It's always adorable when someone who seems stern and majestic is actually struggling with the same mundane, everyday problems as anyone else. You can spot her cluelessness pretty much everywhere, whenever she's talking to someone or getting involved in things with other people. Like how easily her knights convinced her to wear a bunny suit, how unaware she is of her own feelings, or how she doesn't even grasp what her bunny outfit means when debating Arthur, or when Percival is straight up crying after seeing her in it. God damn it, now that I think about it, most of what I remember is her bunny form. Anyway, you can dig into those moments yourself later. But there's one more area where her obliviousness really stands out, and I want to highlight it because it's pretty infamous, yet people rarely talk about it, and that's her appearance. She genuinely doesn't realize people get flustered looking at her outfit, despite her chest being very openly displayed in that window boob design. She seems completely unaware of how colossal her proportions are, or why Fuji might keep staring at her chest. To be fair, Lancers usually wear tight, one-piece outfits since they're agile and need freedom of movement, and Artoria is no exception. Compared to her saber self, she shows way more skin and curves. And with her natural obliviousness, she probably doesn't even register that people are gawking at her. She doesn't understand why Fuji can't keep eye contact, and she definitely doesn't notice the more questionable looks from others either. What's interesting is that in her summer form, this obliviousness toward her own charm changes a bit. Not completely, but she becomes aware of her curves and even shows some pride in them. Still, knowing her, she probably isn't thinking about it in any deep or provocative way. She's just being herself. Well, I guess in the end I just wanted to talk more about her cute side, since we barely get to see her in the story these days. Anyway, hit subscribe, share this video somewhere, and I'll see you guys next time.